Hi, this is Andy with wristadvisor.com, and I want to thank you for joining us on our video today. Today we're going to be covering the Norqain Adventure Sport model. We have the blue bezel, blue dial, blue silicone strap, and we're going to be getting into a full review shortly on it. But before we get into that, I just want to ask everybody out there that likes the content that we're doing, likes these videos, has been to our website, wristadvisor.com. Give us a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help us grow what we're doing over here. And if you got a second, go over to our website. We do about 4 to 5 articles a week on really relevant watch topics that I know our users love. So to get into it, let's start talking about Norqain. So before we're gonna go into the watch, I wanna spend at least a minute and a half talking about Norqain as a brand. So it is a newer brand. It's been around for a couple years. It launched with the Kufer family, which has roots deep in Swiss watchmaking. They used to own a Swiss watchmaking factory decades and decades ago. And they founded Norqain. They brought in experience from the Schneider family, who had ownership groups in Breitling. So this is not a Kickstarter brand. This is not a micro brand. This is a new watch company that's bringing serious human capital and experience to the table. And with their success that they've had recently, they've even partnered up with Kinesi Movements to have a movement that's manufactured just for Norqain. And if you know anything about Kinesi, it is an offshoot of Tudor. It's partly owned by Tudor, but it's an offshoot that produces some really high quality movements. So we're getting some great things out of the Norqain brand. And if you haven't heard of it, we definitely suggest that you take a look into it. And to be honest, it's one of the best value plays out there for $1,800. So let's get into some of the closer shots on the watch, some specs, and some of the things that I've noticed after the last couple weeks of having this on the wrist. All right, so this is the Norqain Adventure Sport. So let's talk about the first two impressions, the look and feel test. So as you can see, the blue on this watch is just stunning. It's a very deep blue, matches the bezel, the dial, to the silicone strap, which is super comfortable. And it even has the exhibition case back. Now let's talk about the feel. So this watch comes in at $1,800, and it definitely does not feel like a watch in that price range. To be honest, I think it's something that's more in the 4,000 to 5,000 just on feel alone. It's definitely a solid watch. You can tell that it's definitely bred to be a sports watch. It does have 100 meters water resistance, so it is dive rated. But it definitely looks and feels like something that's a little bit higher of a price tier. So, you know, you'll hear oftentimes with Norqain that it's a very good bang for buck watch. And it's really something that you have to experience in person to be able to make that distinction. So now let's go into some of the aspects and features of the watch. As you can see how the light's playing off this dial, it is a textured dial in different directions depending on how light's hitting it. That is a really cool feature of this watch. It may not be for everybody, but if you see it in person, it's definitely something to take a look at. I know before I received this, wasn't so sure on it, but now that I've had it in person for a couple weeks, it's definitely something that I've grown to enjoy. The bezel is a ceramic bezel, and what's different about this and what you might see in some other divers or sports watches is this is a 60 click bezel instead of the 120 that you see most often. Now, to be honest, I like the 60 click. I don't know how often anyone's using the half second adjustment on this, but it is super handy. It is unidirectional, so it will only go in one way because it is a dive watch. On the side here, we have a plate that can be customized. It comes standard as Norqain. Not a giant fan of this, but from what I've read from reviews on the brand, a lot of people are. So I see it. I see why they've kept it in some of their new collections. On the back, we have the Norqain NN09 movement. Basically what it is, it's an ETA 2824 with a customized rotor on it. This was one of the original watches that they launched when they came out a couple years ago. Like I said at the start of the video, they have started to release manufacturer movements, which it's not in-house by them, but they've had them commissioned by Kinesi to be able to develop those for exclusive use with Norqain. This model is stainless steel. They do have some two-tone models available for the Adventure Sport collection. And they have a couple different strap options as well. So we've got, this is the second Norqain we've received to be able to do a review. The other one is just an article that we wrote on our website. This is the first one we've done for a video review. But with the one that the Freedom Chrono 60 that we got, the strap was shark leather. This is silicone. I think it also comes in another steel option as well. So you do get some options with this. What we have enjoyed with the Norqains that we've gotten hands-on with is the silicone strap. So we're glad that Norqain sent us this one. It is super, super comfortable. So, you know, we've been wearing this for a couple weeks now, and if I were to purchase this watch, it would be with one with a silicone strap. And that's not typically something that I do. Normally when I purchase a watch, I purchase it on the metal bracelet and then accessorize as need be. But this is just a great color combination. For a tool watch like this, I don't see why you would need anything other than the silicone strap. The case is 42 millimeter diameter, so it's not a small watch, but it's definitely not oversized. We'll put it on the wrist so you can see what it looks like on mine. I'm not a big guy, but I'm not a small guy either. I would put myself right in the middle, so you can see it fits really well on the wrist. It's doesn't sit too high, but it definitely has a presence. So I would say that this is right in the sweet spot for probably a lot of guys that are looking for a decent size sports watch. For the buckle, we have a tang. It doesn't come with a deployment. Obviously, it's a silicone. So overall, with this watch, like I said, it is an $1,800 watch. I think it could sell for more than that. I think they may have undersold themselves on the MSRP, but I see what they've done with putting themselves in that bang for buck or that value watch market. And to be honest, once you feel this and you experience it for a while, they make it easy to be able to want to pull the trigger on something like this. So this is our review for the Norqain Adventure Sport. Let us know what you guys think of this watch in the comments below. If you've had experience with Norqain, or if you were one of the people that thought this was a micro brand going into this video, and then after watching it, you realize that this company is way more than that, and they are one of the startups that are doing things the right way within this industry. If you want to know more about the history of Norqain, we have it in an article on our website. I would suggest that you guys go and check it out. It goes into a little bit more detail of the Kufers and the Snyders and the history of how Norqain came to be. So I want to say thanks to you guys for joining us on this video. If you like the content that we're doing, it really would help us out if you would subscribe. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.